Welcome to a study program of spiritual psychotherapy, a psychological mind training in the relinquishment of a thought system based on fear and the acceptance instead of a thought system based on love. This program is not a religion. However, we do use traditional Christian language, and we recognize we have a creator and that we did not create ourselves. Dear God, we join with you in acknowledgement of your presence within us today, and we intend with your guidance to acknowledge your presence in everyone and everywhere and in all things. We offer you our love and gratitude. We are most grateful for your love, your guidance, your support, and your protection. We intend to do our part in the dismantling of fear today. We willingly and joyfully surrender to you all thoughts that block us from experiencing the peace within us. We relinquish all judgments against our brother. We place them before you and invite a miracle. We take your hand, we follow your lead. We invite you to use our feet, our hands, our tongue, our mind, and our time to be of service only to the truth. We ask you and only you, where would you have us go? What would you have us do? What would you have us think? What would you have us say, and to whom? Trust and know with your guidance that this day is and will unfold with ease and grace, and each of us will be in the right place at the right time for our awakening. We celebrate that moment with you. We take the hand of each and every one of your children, and we rejoice in the truth. We sing and dance in acknowledgement of our oneness with you and with each other. We invite that all of your children be blessed with the knowledge of you, that they be blessed with the experience of you, and in so doing, we all experience peace of mind and peace on earth today, in Jesus' name. And so it is. Amen. Welcome to A Course in Miracles study group. Today we're studying and reviewing lesson 183, I call upon God's name and on my own. And we will read this section and then offer a sharing.
Lesson 183, I call upon God's name and on my own. God's name is holy, but no holier than yours. To call upon his name is but to call upon your own. A father gives his son his name and thus identifies the son with him. His brothers share his name, and thus are they united in a bond to which they turn for their identity. Your father's names reminds you who you are, even within a world that does not know, even though you have not remembered it.
God's name cannot be heard without response, nor said without an echo in the mind that calls you to remember. Say his name, and you invite the angels to surround the ground on which you stand, and sing to you as they spread out their wings to keep you safe and shelter you from every worldly thought that would intrude upon your holiness.
Repeat God's name, and all the world responds by laying down illusions. Every dream the world holds dear has suddenly gone by, and where it has seemed to stand, you find a star, a miracle of grace. The sick arise, healed of their sickly thoughts. The blind can see, the deaf can hear. The sorrow cast off their mourning, and the tears of pain are dried as happy laughter comes to bless the world.
Repeat the name of God, and little names have lost their meaning. No temptation but becomes a nameless and unwanted thing before God's name. Repeat his name and see how easily you will forget the names of all the gods you valued. They have lost the name of God you gave them. They become anonymous and valueless to you. Although before you let the name of God replace their little names, you stood before them worshipfully, naming them as gods.
Repeat the name of God, and you call upon yourself, whose name is his. Repeat his name, and all the tiny, nameless things on earth slip into right perspective. Those who call upon the name of God cannot mistake the nameless for their name, nor sin for grace, nor bodies for the Holy Son of God. And should you join a brother as you sit with him in silence and repeat God's name, along with him within your quiet mind. You have established there an altar which reaches to God himself and to his Son.
Practice but this today. Repeat God's name slowly again and still again. Become oblivious to every name but his. Hear nothing else. Let all your thoughts become anchored on this. No other word we use except at the beginning when we say today's idea but one. And then God's name becomes our only thought, our only word, the only thing that occupies our minds, the only wish we have, and the only sound with any meaning, and the only name of everything that we desire to see, of everything we would call our own.
Thus do we give invitation, which can never be refused, and God will come and answer it himself. Think not he hears the little prayers of those who call on him with the names of idols cherished by the world. They cannot reach him thus. He cannot hear requests that cannot be not himself, or that his Son receive another name than his.
Repeat God's name and you acknowledge him as sole creator of reality. And you acknowledge also that his Son is part of him creating in his name. Sit silently and let his name become the all-encompassing idea that holds your mind completely. Let all thoughts be still except this one. And to all other thoughts respond with this, and see God's name replace the 1,000 little names you gave your thoughts, not realizing that there is one name for all there is and all there will be.
Today you can achieve a state in which you will experience the gift of grace. You can escape all bondage of the world and give the world the same release you found. You can remember what the world forgot and offer it your own remembering. You can accept today the part you play in its salvation and your own as well, and both can be accomplished perfectly.
Turn to the name of God for your release, and it is given you. No prayer but this is necessary, for it holds them all within it. Words are insignificant and all requests unneeded when God's Son calls on his Father's name. His Father's thoughts become his own. He makes his claim to all his Father gave, is giving still and will forever give. He calls on him to let all things he thought he made be nameless now, and in their place, the holy name of God becomes his judgment of their worthlessness.
All little things are silent. Little sounds are soundless now. The little things of earth have disappeared. The universe consists of nothing but the Son of God who calls upon his Father. And his Father's voice gives answer in his Father's holy name.
In this eternal, still relationship, in which communication far transcends all words, and yet exceeds in depth and height whatever words could possibly convey, is peace eternal. In our Father's name, we would experience this peace today, and in his name it shall be given us. Wow, yeah, I call upon God's name and on my own. We'll start the share with Les today, please.
Paragraph 1, line 1, God's name is holy, but no holier than yours. To call upon his name is but to call upon your own. And paragraph 3, 4, and 5, line 1 in each paragraph, repeat God's name and all the world responds by laying down illusions. 4, line 1, repeat the name of God, and little names have lost their meaning. 5, line 1, repeat the name of God, and you call upon yourself whose name is his. Repeat his name, and all the tiny nameless things on earth slip into right perspective. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Les. Thank you. Shannon.
Yeah, well, this is a great lesson. Paragraph 3, repeat God's name and all the world responds by laying down illusions. Every dream the world holds dear has suddenly gone by, and where it seemed to stand you find a star, a miracle of grace. The sick arise, healed of their sickly thoughts. The blind can see, the deaf can hear, the sorrowful cast off their mourning, and the tears of pain are dried as happy laughter comes to bless the world. And I'm just going to leave it on that beautiful, beautiful paragraph. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Irina.
Paragraph 8. Repeat God's name and you acknowledge him as sole creator of reality. And you acknowledge also that his Son is part of him, creating in his name. Sit silently and let his name become the all-encompassing idea that holds your mind completely. It's just beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Great share here. I call upon God's name and on my own. And this lesson for me has been definitely a blessing, because when I first read this, and I've been practicing applying this to situations in my life frequently for quite some time, and it's so simple and so very powerfully effective. It says to call upon God's name. Call upon God's name whenever we're in a situation, whenever we're feeling out of sync with ourselves, whenever we're feeling out of sync with life, whenever we're feeling out of sync with a situation. We're just reminded, repeat God's name. Repeat God's name. Turn to the name of God for your release, and it is given you. And that's so beautiful, because sometimes when we are in a state that we can't see clearly, we're not able to, I'll speak for myself, I'm not able to, access the words. And it tells us here in paragraph 10, line 2, no prayer, but this is necessary, for it holds them all within it. Words are insignificant, and all requests are needed when God's Son calls on his Father's name. His Father's thoughts become his own. I found this to be so very, very effective for myself. And it just keeps, as you have all shared here in every paragraph, it's a reminder here. It starts off by telling us that God's name is holy. And then, repeat God's name and all the world responds by laying down illusions. Wow. Saying his name and you invite. This is the part that I really love. It's in paragraph 2. Say God's name and you invite the angels to surround the ground on which you stand and sing to you as they spread out their wings to keep you safe and shelter you from every worldly thought that would intrude upon your holiness. It's such a powerful tool to have and to apply. It says in paragraph 4, repeat his name and see how easily you will forget the names of all the gods that you valued. And in paragraph 5, where it says, repeat the name of God and call upon yourself, whose name is his. We're calling upon the Christ within. Repeat his name, and all the tiny nameless things on earth slip into right perspective. Wow. Also in paragraph 5, the tail end there of line 4, repeat God's name along with him within your quiet mind. You have established there an altar which reaches to God himself and to his Son. And so today, we're invited in this lesson today, we're invited to repeat his name slowly and to sit in silence. So I'm going to invite us all now to take this time to meditate upon God's name. So let's just let everyone get comfortable in their space, getting relaxed, closing our eyes, and bringing our minds to our breath. Nice, long, slow, easy, deep breath in and out. And as you relax, give your body now permission to relax as well. There's nothing it need to just support you in sitting in your space, and if you're comfortable, your body can relax into that as well. As we sit here now in silence and join with God, repeating His name. So we're invited to repeat God's name slowly again and still again. Oblivious to every thought but His name. Allow yourself to hear nothing else but His name. Letting all your thoughts become anchored. I call upon God's name and on my own. We say this idea once and repeat God's name again and again. God's name becomes our only word. The only wish we have. The only sound with any meaning. As we repeat God's name, we acknowledge Him as sole creator of reality. Acknowledging also that His Son is part of Him, creating in His name. As we sit silently now, we let His name become all-encompassing. The only idea that holds our minds completely. We let all thoughts be still except this one. Repeat God's name and all the world responds by laying down illusions. The sick arise, healed of their sickly thoughts. The blind can see, the deaf can hear. The sorrowful cast off their mourning, and the tears of pain are dried, as happy laughter comes to bless the world. As I repeat God's name. As we sit with Him in silence, we turn to the name of God for our release. And in so doing, it is given us. In our Father's name, we would experience peace today. And in His name, it shall be given us. God bless.